Alright everyone, you know how I reported on the fact that Beijing Biden's so-called infrastructure bill, through budget reconciliation, they want to pass the whole thing instead of a chunk of it, $3.5 trillion of pork barrel and shovel-ready 2.0. Well, not only does it contain a provision to try to corporatize cryptocurrency, which again would be great for people like me who have a reasonable amount of it and aren't going to be scared out of the market, at least long-term, in my opinion, not financial advice, disclaimer there. But would be bad for anyone who involves themselves in mining, certainly, or has a smaller exchange that's not capable of hiring several good lawyers. Not only does it contain that, one more method by which the government wishes to meddle with people's finances, but it also wants to expand drastically the IRS. Now, we're being told, this is what Biden said to try to excuse adding this to the infrastructure bill. I'm not sure that most people consider the IRS to be infrastructure. When you think of that, you think of bridges and roads and stuff, maybe some social justice warrior horseshit that you've been peddled by Elizabeth Warren, but probably not the IRS, the least liked bureau in the entire United States, by the way. That's for a reason. People don't like taxes in general, but the IRS Selective Enforcement Department definitely outsized it lately. Supposedly, in expanding the IRS by, 10,000 new employees or something, multi-billion dollars a year extra budgeting. Supposedly, this is to go after tax cheats that make a lot of money. Biden came out and said, this won't affect anyone making under $400,000, man. Now, where have we heard this lie before? Oh, that's right, with tax increases. We were told that anyone making less than that wouldn't see a penny in new taxes. Unfortunately, that's not the case. That's only for individuals, so it won't affect the married couples. They got conned. The self-employed got conned. Contractors got conned. Business owners got conned. Small, you've got your ma and pa shop. Those don't apply. He was just talking about people who make under $400K and general salary as a general employee. So half the people who make around that amount of money, and there's a lot of people who are self-employed that are in the six-figure range, they're going to pay more. That's a lie. The IRS expansion not affecting those people, I believe, is also a lie too, because apparently part of this provision would be that Beijing Biden wants the IRS to have access to all of your ingoing and outgoing money, your transfers and shit through your bank account. So this violates the Fourth Amendment. The idea that the government through this bureau needs to be able to monitor people's bank data in potentially real time is horseshit. This is another pig in a poke situation. This is just like when we were sold the Patriot Act or Corona passports or World War I. This is a pig in a poke situation where people are being told, well, there's a lot of tax fraud in the country. You got to recoup the loss. So we got to be able to spy on your tax records. Don't you think that this could potentially be misused? I do. Don't you think that this violates the right of people to be secure in their persons and papers against unreasonable searches and seizures? Where's the warrant involved to look into the account? And some people will do the lemming thing. They'll do the jackboot lick it clean thing and say, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, why do you care? Now, if you're not doing anything wrong, then you shouldn't have to worry about the government having access to it. You're a citizen, not a subject. You're not a slave. A lot of people act like it, though, now. They just roll over and play dead, or they put their head in the ground like a goddamn fucking ostrich every time the government wants to beat their ass. They put their butt up real high so the government doesn't have to bend over too far to spank them. And they think that this makes them a good citizen. I think that it makes them an idiot, but yeah, different strokes for different folks, I suppose. Supposedly, the magical 400K number comes into effect, and so, new audits aren't going to affect those people. Well, then why do you need access to their bank accounts, Joe? It's because you want to semi-automate the audit system. Well, the AI, Google's AI flagged your account and said, well, it looks like you got $10 extra in there somewhere that wasn't accounted for. Oh my God, well, this obviously is taxable. Can you imagine people who receive a gift from a relative, which generally is aside in taxes under most circumstances? Can you imagine someone, they get some money on PayPal from grandma and now all of a sudden they get audited by the IRS and have to dig through all of their receipts and shit? So this is another example of why I never pussyfoot around on taxes. I don't take a penny more than I'm owed in regards to write-offs and probably pay more than I technically owe, because I don't want the goddamn hassle. I don't want to have shoeboxes full of goddamn receipts that I have to scan in for a week at a goddamn time in order to justify my own income. It's just not the sort of thing. I hate wasting time. I hate spending my time doing things that I ought not have to do. I like to do the things that I want to do. They're always going to be productive anyway, and I want to be left alone. This is the opposite of leaving people alone in peace. It violates the Fourth Amendment. Everyone should be up in arms about this, and the mere fact that a proportion of Congress is willing to entertain the idea even of allowing this to remain in a bill that's earmarked as critical infrastructure spending. My goodness, how much less critical and less infrastructure-y can you get? You're going to spend billions of extra dollars a year. Maybe that will make a return in terms of new audits. Do you really think that's just going to be aimed at the donor class? Do you honestly believe that the average audit, and in addition to the ones from before, because you have more IRS staff, does any single one of you believe it will primarily be aimed at the rich? At people who are making high six-figure incomes or more? I really doubt that. I think they'll focus on the sweet spot. They'll focus on people that are making between a little above median and $400K, quite a bit above median. I think they'll be focusing there. Specific, and it'll probably be politically motivated. It's not like it didn't happen before. The IRS is capable of being commanded to be biased by the higher-ups in the IRS that control it. Look at Lois Lerner's IRS. They were explicitly targeting groups that were conservative and progressive to knock them out of the way of the rhinos and the neoliberals. This was done. She took the fall, and some other people never extended to Obama, but I guarantee Biden will impose such rules and attempt to spy on everyone's bank records, and he'll have a good time doing it, and IRS agents, by the way, will misuse that capability, just like LoveInt was used by the NSA for a while, when that program was still open, although elements of it, I'm sure, are still there, you just don't know about them. They'll use it to look through the bank records of a loved one. Hey, that's interesting. These numbers don't quite add up that I got on this statement. I'm going to look through my wife's PayPal account. Yeah, I'm an IRS member, I can do that. I'm going to get into the bank account, the PayPal. Oh, there's another account connected to this. Oh shit, she bought a Paris hat or something. This will happen. It'll probably become a scandal if this passes. By the way, it shouldn't pass. Congress should torpedo this completely. It violates the Fourth Amendment. And that's just one part of the $3.5 trillion spending. You should torpedo it just on the basis of new inflation that we don't need. On the basis that much of the bill is not infrastructure, some of which is just shovel-ready 2.0. It'll go the way of Solyndra. It'll never bring a return anyway to begin with. That's about all. Peace out.